The stuff people do around here, it's crazy.
It is pretty crazy, yeah.
So we're starting with some bumpy moguls. Yeah, buddy! That's some gnarly looking steep skiing.
No, you're in the crevasse and I'm holding the fall here. Otherwise you can't get it out. That's the really key point.
Really good!
Woohoo! Why don't we get some warm-up turns here?
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, we're just going to ski from here and just try and get a little bit of a warm-up on this little steeper slope. It's a good chance to get the brain in motion.
So we're starting with some bumpy moguls. I can teach people when I ski instructor, turn on top of the moguls, make it easy for yourself. Yeah, buddy!
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Hello, my name's Dave Searle and I'm a mountain guide based down in Chamonix. Well, I'm actually down in Servoz. Chamonix is just up the corner there.
Thank you for these 2 days.
Yeah, thanks for coming over to Chamonix and skiing over here with me.
Yeah, mostly learning.
Yeah.
It's been really good learning from you, man. For me, like, breathtaking just to see what Chamonix steep skiing can look like.
That's some gnarly looking steep skiing.
The stuff people do around here, it's crazy.
It is pretty crazy, yeah.
What sick lines, mate!
Yeah. To the right of it is the Jaeger.
Uh-huh.
I've skied that one. That was like the steepest thing I've ever skied.
Would you do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, I would, but it's not something I do all the time. Yeah, it's pretty stressful skiing stuff that steep. Yeah.
What do you think, Dave? Are we roping up or not?
Yeah, so that's an interesting topic of conversation, really, because it kind of comes down to how you feel in the situation. And for me here, there's a really good track going up. There's been a load of people that are going up. It's good visibility. We can see where the crevasses are. I'm pretty familiar with this glacier in both summer and winter. So those are all like positive things. You know, we're in the springtime as well, so it's a good safe time to be doing glacier travel. But if you start taking away some of those things, so if it was like early winter, poor visibility, no track, not familiar with it, then you certainly put a rope on, right? Even if you just take one of those things away, that's the time to put a rope on. So, and then, yeah, and always the safest thing to do is to put a rope on. So if you want to be extra safe and cautious, you would put a rope on. But you have to remember that if you do put a rope on and somebody falls in, you have to have the skills to be able to get them out, especially if you're a group of two. Because if somebody's hanging off your harness, then you need to be able to build an anchor to get their weight off you, and then you can haul them out. So that's something you need to practice.
Welcome to today's episode of Skin Track Reviews. Today we're walking a beautiful skin track here, where the first person who was leading up set this wonderful track. Great gradient, you don't even need to use the racer. And yeah, we are doing 414 vertical meters per hour, despite Dave being under the weather. Are you okay, buddy?
Suffering quite hard.
It's starting to get quite hard.
Yeah. I think I'm leaning away from not doing it right now, but that's the thing, is like doing a rad line and learning loads. You can't really do both in the same day. You kind of got to do one or the other.
But that was fine all along. This was supposed to be like an objective type episode where I do my first taste into steep skiing.
Yeah.
And like sketchy things.
This is not the kind of condition I should be in to ski something where you don't want to fall and make a mistake or whatever. So I was pretty happy with that decision.
We were supposed to walk up this face there, but sadly Dave is not feeling well enough probably.
I'm on a course of antibiotics at the moment for this kind of like bacterial sinus infection, and I'm just not feeling up to it. And then also, like an idiot, I forgot my crampons today. So those two things together, I just think it's not worth doing that. But I still really want to, I think we can use this opportunity to go to, we can get a good descent down here, which is going to be super fun anyway. And then we get down to the sort of flat glacier there, and we'll have a look at the sort of next step of the crevasse rescue training for you, which is going to be, if you're like as a team of 2 roped up and somebody falls in, how do you transfer their weight off your harness? So we'll have a look at that once we get down there.
Cool. Let's go skiing, mate. Woo. Pretty good. Not every day I do such a long eight.
Welcome to paradise.
Yeah, we're just coming down the Mer de Glace here, and I thought, well, the main track is just over there. That's where most people are skiing. That's the most obvious way to go. But I thought as like a learning chance for us, we could go kind of down here where there's been a couple of people that have gone, and we'll see if we can sort of ski down here and feel comfortable to do it without putting the rope on. And or if we get to that point where we're like, you know what, we need the rope. Or we maybe need to get the probe out and just check a couple of snow bridges or something. But I just thought it'd be a more interesting way to do it. And we had a moment today where he tried to jump into a crevasse. Well, he didn't try to jump into it, he tried to jump over a crevasse. Holy shit, did you mean to do that?
What did Dave say about yesterday? Careful with the rollers, right?
Yeah, but there were some tracks on there.
Yeah, don't trust tracks, mate.
Next lesson, don't trust tracks in Chamonix.
So that's the hole. I was just knuckled. Almost like 3 meters deep into.
You have to really ski differently and expect the unexpected on a glacier. You know, you get these weird holes just appearing in the slope, you know, so if you can't see it, don't ski it. Tone it down on the glacier unless you're 100% certain. So this is a thicker dynamic rope. Always unflake a rope if you've coiled it up like this. Okay, you want to tie on to there?
Figure of 8 or?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Done. Happy.
So thinking about how we're going to actually rope up, so we want to be around about 15 meters more or less. If you're in really big glaciated terrain, you want more rope out because the crevasses are bigger, so you might be stood on the same snow bridge if you had 15 meters between you. So to shorten up the rope, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can put it in the backpack and stuff it away and then just kind of clove hitch the end that's going to the other person onto you, or we can take chest coils and tie them off. So here I'm gonna put my hood up to start with because it is a bit annoying getting it all tangled up in the coils. And we start by going up over my left-hand side, and then I'm gonna put my thumb in my belly button like that. Take the coils like this. I'll take a few more, just make it a little bit shorter. But obviously this is a 30-meter rope, so halfway would have given us 15 meters. If there was 2 of us roping up, we would take maybe only like 4 or 5 coils each. So we've both got a reserve of rope because we need that to be able to do a crevasse rescue pulley system. Bit of stuff falling off. I'll show you how to finish this off. So I'm going to put my right arm through now. Now I can take my hood off again. Now you could theoretically just kind of clip this back onto here, okay? And that's quite easy to get the coils off. But what I find is doing it like this is they turn into a bit of a mess after a while. And also it's not so easy to take them off and take a jacket off or put an extra layer on, for example. And the other reason for tying them off is if they get caught on something, you're not going to kind of get like strangled and crushed by them. So that's why I like to have the coils tied off so it's holding them down like this so they can't kind of constrict me. So I'm going to put this arm through, grab hold of that rope, making sure that this strand is that side. Pull it around like that, and it's going to go around everything and then down through this loop. Like that. So now I've got a loop here, yeah, and I've got the rope going to you. Now, if we were to kind of leave it like this, which is fine because this is tightening up on here, then I would get pulled kind of forward because it's pulling me from up here a little bit more. So I want to lower that pull down onto my harness there, like that. But here, even if this is under load, I can still clip this in and out of here, like that. So even if that's under load, I can still take this coil out of here and change the length of these. So that's what I like to do, is I like to clip it on the gate side there after I've put the clove hitch in. It's a bit fiddly to get it in sometimes. There we go. And now, if you're hanging off me and somebody else is in the team, they can come and I can hold the weight and they can take off the coils on me and they can set up a pulley system. Yeah. So if you're a team of 3 or 4, you know, maybe the first 2 people rope up and the other 2 people are there to assist if the first person goes in. So having it like that and having it tied down onto your harness is really important. Okay? So if I kind of pretend like I've taken your weight and you kind of pull against me. Yeah.
Are you in the crevasse now?
No, you're in the crevasse and I'm holding the fall here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to kind of move my poles out of the way a little bit like that. Get myself in a position that I can hold you. Okay. So I've got a good strong ski like against you like that. Okay. So I've taken one ski off like this. So I want to do a temporary anchor, yeah, so I can hold your weight. So what I'm going to do here is put the ski in like this, as deep as I can in there. And it's quite soft, wet snow, which is ideal because you can kind of pack it down together and give yourself a little bit more traction with this anchor. Okay, now I'm gonna just pop one arm out of here and I'm gonna take my bag off, which is also clipped to me with my leash. Okay, and then I'm gonna have 120 centimeter sling. I'm gonna tie a knot in the middle like that, and I'm going to loop this over this ski, and the base is facing towards you, so I'm not too worried about the edges on that sling. Okay, and what I need is my micro traction or nano traction. So looking in there, seeing that you're the weight like that. Close that one up, and I'm going to clip that onto there like this. And importantly, so I've got this knot here, I'm also going to clip this end through the carabiner there like that. because in a second I'm going to build another anchor back here with this ski, and I want to have a loop that I can attach that to. So we've got to make sure we clip both sides of that. Okay, we're going to screw that gate up and we're going to push that down towards you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly shuffle so that your weight then goes more onto that, whilst also maintaining a little bit of control here in case this ski decides to come out. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy that that ski is holding your weight. Yeah, I can take this other ski off here. Okay, just keep an eye on that one and make sure it's not moving. Okay, now I can build my actual anchor with this ski. But to do that, I need to give myself a little bit of slack. So I'm going to unclip from here, just this loop, and I'm going to keep the clove hitch on there. And I'm going to give myself just a little bit of slack there. Yeah, so I can, and this is the other nice thing about keeping a clove hitch on here, is that you can belay it out, okay, while still staying attached. If I had another knot on here, a different knot, then I would have to untie it, unclip it, and if that ski were to fail, you're gonna just fall in. Yeah, so it's nice to have the clove hitch because you can belay in and out on that. And then I'm gonna take out my shovel and I'm gonna build my snow anchor. What we wanna do is end up with the ski perpendicular to the line of the pull, so around about here. So mark it out with the ski to start with. Then I'm going to dig out a trench for it. Dug my trench, which is kind of like big enough for my ski. Now what I want to do is create a channel in the snow facing in the direction that we're going to be pulling. So that channel is coming in to the bottom of here, where the ski is going to be sat, and it's kind of going up at an angle up onto the surface of the snow. What I got here is some edge protection that's wide enough to go around the ski like that. What I'm going to do is tie a clove hitch. There's two ways to do it. You can have it like this, or you can fold it on the inside, and that way when you pull, it's tightening the clove hitch a little bit more. I'm going to post this one over so it's sat between the bindings like that, and then I'm going to put my edge protection on here like this. Now, and the sling in between the bindings so it can't really move around. I quite like to have the binding facing the person because the binding also adds some extra grip for the ski coming out this way. The flat part of the base can kind of slip out of the snow sometimes, so having the binding facing the person is kind of the way that I like to do it. So that's nicely coming out of there like that, and what I'm now going to do is backfill some snow into here and stamp it all down. That's going to give me a whole load extra support on this anchor. So I'm pushing snow from the back, okay, stamping that down, making that nice and solid. So now what I need to do is link these two together. So depending on how far back the ski is, you want to give yourself kind of a roughly 30 centimeters or like a forearm to be able to do this. So here, I've just tied a knot to make this attachment point a little bit further back, but if you'd put the ski a little bit further back, you might not need to do that, like that. And then what I'm going to do here is a round turn, like that. Yeah, and I'm just going to pull in that tension so it's kind of back onto Jens, and then I'm going to do a series of half hitches working back down this way. 3, Yeah. And a fourth one, why not? And you can, even if you've got enough for tail, clip that in. So what we've basically left with here is overhand, through the sling, round turn 2 half hitches on the carabiner, and that's equalizing the load. So now we have equal load on this buried ski and the vertically placed ski. So now we've got our anchor that we can do our hauling system. All we need to do is, to get our 3-to-1, is stick our tib lock on here, okay, and we can start doing our hauling system like that. And hopefully today you got a bit of a clearer idea like why it could be a good idea to tie the coils off.
Yes.
Rather than just having it like looped around your body and then tied off with a clove hitch. And then down through here.
Make a little knot there.
Yeah, and then clove hitch on first. Put the clove hitch on first.
Oh yeah, otherwise we can't get that out, huh?
Otherwise you can't get it out. That's the really key point. That's a key point with that, is that if you've got the weight on there and that's over the back of the carabiner, you're not going to get it out. Which is fine, that's how a lot of people do it, but they turn into a mess a lot quicker, don't they?
Oh yeah, I did the experience down when digging. They turn into an absolute mess.
Start with it like there.
Wow.
Yeah, and then as it goes in, the tip rocker is going to straighten it up. Okay, you need a 120 centimeter sling then. Get the tab to one end, tie a knot in the middle.
I'm happy with how it turned out, because as I experience now, you know, with the crevasse rescue, did kind of one scenario, falling in without the rope on our first day. That felt okay. Pretty simple. You can take your time building a anchor, sorting things out. But then today, you know, having this little load to pull against made it a bit more tricky. So here's the confusion. Shall I try to do perpendicular to roughly this thing?
No, to the load.
To the load. You said something, you put the clove hitch on a special way.
So you had it like that around the ski. If you put it on the inside like that,
Yeah.
then it's going to tighten up more. But then we also want some edge protection as well.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that with a skin? Have you got a skin handy?
Yeah.
If you learn them and then you practice them at home a few times and then you practice it in the real world a few times, before you know it, you understand. You know, like, imagine back when you didn't know how to tie a clove hitch, and now you know how to tie a clove hitch, probably a couple of different ways as well. So, yeah, it just takes time to practice and then to actually use it and really make a big scoop around it.
It goes down, it doesn't go up. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't see it as like knowledge, because to remember the moves, maybe I should see it more as learning a trick on skis, where it takes many repetitions to actually just know it in muscle memory. Club hitch is like duck, duck, doop, or it's like, you know, it's these moves.
Yeah, it's a movement that you're doing, isn't it? So it's just like learning a trick. So just up to the bottom of the skiing, down the Mer de Glace, which is at the bottom of the Vallée Blanche. So now we've got to put our skis on and walk up to this gondola. And hopefully in a few years' time, or definitely in a few years' time, they'll have a lower gondola over here. So it's going to make the walk out a little bit easier than it is going to be this time. So
Yeah,
something to look forward to.
it is. How long is the walk?
Once we get over to the bottom of the stairs, there's 500 steps to get up to the cable car.
Nice even number.
There might be like 495 or something.
Really? I thought it would be really satisfying. It was 500.
You can count them if you want.
Yeah, I can.
5, 6, 7.
I was walking up these stairs with mixed feelings of relief that we didn't have to ski this potentially deadly line, but also with happy legs that had just gone and skied in beautiful terrain here in Chamonix, and I learned quite a lot. 500. That's definitely what it felt like, Dave.
It sure does. Especially when you've done it for 500 times or more.
I look forward to show you more skiing in new episodes of Into the Mountains soon.